defense?
Well, you know, I worked with Art for 7, 8 years at Ole Miss. Aggressive, you know, obviously not the same group as last year. You know, play aggressive, run to the football good. They really, you know, he likes to get guys running the line of scrimmage, running the football. So plays a lot of guys. So, you know, it kind of mixes things up on you. But, you know, like every week for us, everything's a challenge.
What did you take from what Washington did today?
They did a nice job on it. They ran the ball well. Did some big plays on them. I don't know. You know, it's offense. It's like to me every week it's the same. It's all about if you actually, you know, everybody puts in game plans, right? You're supposed to be good against it. Some work, some don't. Okay, but it always comes down to about us. You know, it's about the offense, about executing. Guys getting their hats in the right spot. You know, quarterback making right reads. You know, those types of things, and that's where I think Washington did a good job of it. They were very efficient up there. You know, and they converted third downs. You know, they stayed on the field.
So you've heard of game plans that work then, or is this just a rumor?
I just saw that yesterday. I didn't know that was really supposed to happen.
Right.
Yeah. You know, I was reading something.
Reading somewhere?
Yes, I was reading somewhere, and it said that sometimes game plans are supposed to work.
Right.
What have you seen from how Cal does in the pass rush in particular?
On what?
In their pass rush?
Bull rush, physical guys. Now I've known Sonny. I've known. As you read, all right, since he was, which I'm kind of pissed because he says he's known me since 3rd grade. Well, he was a little bit older than that, but his dad was the defensive coordinator when I was playing in college. So I've known Sonny since he probably was in 3rd grade. And I tell you, they've done a heck. I mean, every place he's gone, he's done a really. You know, he was at Kentucky, and then he was at Louisiana Tech, and every place he's gone, he's built good programs. And I know that. I know that's what he's doing up there, and he's starting to recruit the kind of guys he wants to be in his program and run the type of defenses. And that's what I see. He's got some size up there. They're physical kids. They press the pocket. You know, they try to keep. You know, obviously, I hope. You know, I'm probably thinking they're going to try to keep Brett in the pocket and challenge our offensive line like everybody does.
How old was he in the 3rd grade? You said he was older.
Well, you know, Sonny, they held Sonny back 4 or 5 times, so he might have been 12.
12?
Yeah.
Have you kept in touch with him over the years or run into him?
Yeah, I mean, I've run into him all the time and say, in fact, last time I saw him, I ran into him on the street in Manhattan Beach this last summer. So, but no, I've known Sonny for a long time, him and his dad and his family. Great. I mean, his dad's a stud. Spike Dykes was awesome. I mean, just a great family, good football coaches.
How much of a difference can you see in Cal this year compared to the Cal team last year that won, one game?
Yeah, I mean, obviously they're very explosive on offense. I mean, I've known Tony for a long time too. He does do game plans. Yeah. But I've known Tony. They do a great job offensively of moving the football and scoring points. And now his defense, I think the defense from last year to this year just, is going the direction that you want it to go when you're building a program.
You said keeping Brett in the pocket. Are the things you guys did against Oregon that kind of freed up the passing and running lanes, are those the same type of things that could be effective this week?
God, why would I want to do them again if they worked last week?
That's what I'm asking.
Yes. I mean, it's something different defense, but no, we've been moving him, moving him a little bit out of the pocket, some in our running game. He's done a better job of, some of his keys in that of getting himself, outside the pocket, because of what the defense is doing to him. But yeah, there's some things, it's a little late, but some things starting to come together.
Outside the pocket, good in this offense? Is it set up that way?
It's not really built that way, but it's kind of it's like that. It's like a change-up pitch that you'd like to have in your repertoire. It's fastball. Pretty soon, so you got to have something a little bit different. And plus, he's good on the move and he can throw the ball.
I'm going to remind you again, like last week, that this is football, not baseball. Fastball. Probably not going to be an effective thing now.
Okay. Wait, let me take a note on that.
Yeah, please.
Don't use fastball. Okay.
How do you think Brett handled the read option? Seems like you guys went to that a little bit more this past week against Oregon than you had in the past.
I thought he did a nice job. You know, I thought Paul did a nice job with it. I tell you who did a nice job with it was the O-line. You know, the O-line is, they're starting to, come together a little bit. Connor went in there and did a really good job of tackling for us. Kenny Lacey and Scott and Caleb and all those kids. Now they're starting to get games under their belt. They're starting to feel more comfortable with what we're doing. So, Brett and the backs, I mean, that's kind of built into them. That's what they're supposed to do. They've been doing it a while. I think that young people, offensive linemen, are starting to really feel more comfortable.
Have you been leery to go to that in the past with Brett, just running up the middle like that in terms of the read option, or is that something that you've always kind of had it in the game plan and it just worked out well?
Well, we kind of had it, and it's like everything, you kind of throw some stuff out on the table, in the course of the first part of the game, and all of a sudden you say, okay, this is giving them issues, and which is probably maybe good or bad, I don't know, but I like if something's working, I run it until they show they can stop it, make them adjust. And then if you saw in the second half, or just our zone stuff started working a bit better because of, what Brett had done, with our power read stuff in the first half. So, it felt good that the kids in the offense started feeling like, okay, that's how it's supposed to work. You run something, they start taking away, okay, where's your counter punch on it?
With Paul doing so well, do you run Brett less? I know he had his career high in carries last week. Is that something where you try to dial that down in the weeks going forward?
I don't know. I just think it's kind of like how it plays out. I mean, obviously you guys were, last week, it was 10 sacks. Like, how do you, how do you protect, that situation? Well, that's one of the situations is, Brett's got to, take on some of that part of getting out of the pocket, running the football, which takes pressure off our offensive line.
Did Miles' success on those 3 straight runs last week, does that give you a little blueprint for how to use him a little differently at running back going forward?
No, I mean, we've always gone, you have the blueprint. Did you like that? How wide those wide splits on that helmet? Yeah. No, I mean, there's always a package in every week for Miles, and some of it depends on how much, in the course of a game, how tired is he from, playing defense, and then that situation comes on offense, so it's kind of a tricky deal, but yeah, we always have a package in for Miles and Eddie and, all those guys in there, and in retrospect, you always look back and maybe I should use it more or less, but I do that with a lot of players after a game, right?
The question is, when do you use the zone read with Eddie? Because we got Eddie and Brett running the zone read. I think I remember.
Right. That's the next thing. Okay. Just so you know, that play is called Panda. Yeah, because they call Eddie Kung Fu Panda. All right. So that's the Panda play.
All right.
All right, guys.